Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2. Peace, everybody. See y'all coming in. Natural Market in the house. Sage. Natasha in the house. Ro. Shaquana. Lisa. Terry in the house. Uh, hope all is well with you all today. I am I guess I'll turn my camera on. Get it going here. I'm doing this one from the homestead today. Um, See if we can get this lined up before I have to go. Okay. All right. So got a lot to talk about, but let me before we get going, I want to remind everybody about some things, a couple of announcements. I just need to move some things around so I can see what I'm doing. Need to share some things. I'm going to share my screen here because I am excited because the time is coming. We got 12 days for my upcoming webinar/lecture. You should be able to see it on your screen. Unlocking Stellar Insights. Uh, Title of this is The Mystical Almond, the Seed of Chaos. This is November 10th, 2024 at 3 p.m. It's going to be roughly 2.5 hours online via Zoom. And if you go here again, I'll have this in the description area, this link to go here and sign up. You can secure your seat so you can participate in this lecture because it's going to be chock full of information, and not just information for intellectual masturbation, but for usable, practical, applicable, real life stuff that's dealing with what's going on right now and is going to come and help you deal with your journey right now because it's what we're in right now. A state of chaos, but we're gonna make sense of the madness. All right. So that's coming up. So you can go over to there and sign up, and I'll put the link again in the description so you can go and secure your space. Now, today is October 28th, 2024. This is a special day, a special week, because today is the start of Diwali. It's spelled Dwali, but the Diwali, Diwali festival, the festival of lights. And it culminates on November 1st. So what I want to do today as we start our conversation, I want to just highlight some of the other significant happenings that are going on at the same time. We have Diwali, we have Halloween, we have All Saints Day, we have Dios de los Muertos, and we have the new moon on November 1st. So this is a big energetic period that we're in right now, and I want to try to make sense of it. So I've mentioned that Diwali starts today, 5-day festival, festival of lights, and it will run until November 1st. It will culminate on November 1st. But I'm going to come back to that because first I want to go and touch on Halloween. And so let's do this. Let's go to this whiteboard real quick. So I like to have Zoom going because I have this option. Let's go to the whiteboard. Let's get this thing rolling. Hope everybody is keeping your head above water, staying locked in on your vision, and not allowing yourself to be dismayed or deterred by the low magic that is being put forward right now. Counteract with your high magic. Okay. So what I want to do is, I'm not sure if I can draw me a circle. I know they got a shape tool in Zoom where I can do me a circle. We'll do this. Okay. And let's make this big. That's an ugly circle. Okay. That's probably about as big as I can get it on this screen. And then we're going to go here, here. Shit. I'm trying to draw me an 8-pointed. There we go. Y'all bear with me. That's horrible. I can't do that. I can't do that. Let me do that again. Let me do it that way. And then that way. And then okay. So what I have drawn here is the pagan 8-pointed wheel of the year. And let me go back to my pen. Okay. All right. And so this wheel breaks the year up into 8 significant points. Now, let's say that this is the, damn it. Let me get my utensils right. This is the spring equinox right here. Then this would be what we would call May Day. Okay. That's one of the names. Then we have the summer solstice. Then here we have Llamas. This one's called Beltane, by the way. Okay. This one is the autumnal equinox. And I can't remember all of these pagan terms, but then this one is where we at right now. This is called Samhain. It's spelled like Samhain, but it's pronounced Samhain. That's terrible. I'm trying to spell. Okay, let's do that. Let's do better. I gotta do better. Gotta do better. Okay, this is Samhain. It's pronounced Samhain. That is the portal that we're in right now. Samhain. Okay. After that, the next festive time or key point is the winter solstice. We'll put WS. And then the next one is this is where my birthday falls. It's called Candlemas, as far as the Catholic Candlemas, but it's also Imb bulk, which means in milk. All right. Now, but we're focusing on this one. Let me erase this. Why I highlight my never mind. Okay. Here we are right here at Samhain. Okay. Now, Samhain coincides with Halloween, and in the so-called pagan calendar, it marks the beginning of winter. All right. So if this is the beginning of winter, now in our calendar, the way we use this the Gregorian, I guess, calendar, we say that the winter begins officially at the winter solstice. But that's not actually true, because the festival is Midwinter's Festival. That's the name of the festive time that coincides with the winter solstice. And the opposite for the summer solstice is called the Midsummer Festival. So that means summer really begins over here at Beltane. Okay. Which is May 1st, 2nd. Okay. Then if that's summer, then when we're at the spring equinox that we call the beginning of spring, that's really mid-spring. Spring really begins down here on February 1st or 2nd. That's spring. And so this is what this 8-pointed wheel, that's one of the things that it reveals is when these seasons really begin. And that's why this wheel is significant, because it sets these key points in the year where energetically the earth is being imbued with certain rays, energetic rays, which would steer ancient man not being gender, but man as a people, ancient man, to know how to conduct themselves. So with Samhain, where we are here celebrating Halloween, let's look at all these things that are happening around this time. You have the Celtic Fire Festival. That's how they marking the summer's end and the conclusion of the harvest season. We all hear about this all the time. People say this, oh, the veil is thin. I think sometimes we just start saying things just because it's popular, but there's a difference between saying things, studying things, and actually living in the reality of them. And I think all of us start into whatever we call this journey. We started by either studying or listening to people. And sometimes we even end up venerating people, or we get into certain systems. And it's all part of the evolutionary process. But there's a certain point where you will know in your journey that you are actually starting to live in the energy that you've been studying. So it's one thing to repeat, oh, the veil is thin, but it's another thing when you actually experience it and continue to experience, and you are um, collecting data about these experiences that further um, build up your, if we want to use this word, spiritual data bank. So when we say the veil is thin, it's a real thing, because energetically, based on how the earth is in aspect to the sun, for the most part, because that's a consistent thing. At this time, the sun's going to be in a certain position relative to the earth. Other planets, not so much, but the sun. So there are certain information that is being conveyed from the sun onto the earth at this time, which sets the tone for these different periods in the year. And so on October 31st, All Hallows Eve, this is this transformation period is allowing those who have departed physical corporeality to traverse at a stronger vibration and commingle with those of us who are still within physical vessels. So there's heightened communication. But here's the thing, there's heightened communication from everything. So it ain't necessarily going to be things that are harmonious or things that are beautiful or things that are, what we desire. It's everything is available. And I want to stress this point. Everything is more available right now. Now, keep in mind where we are in the current event cycle right now. And keep in mind what is coming up. All right. Look at the climate within your cities. Consider all these things and know that there are efforts in place right now to utilize these energies for, and it's all based on the intent of the user. It's all based on the intent. Some people are pulling out the hot irons to try to, style the hair. Some people are pulling out the hot irons to burn people, put it straight to your face. Psst. It's all about how it's being used and which one of these energies are people trying to align with. So Halloween says in lore, we'll say mythic lore, that this is where this is how the Catholic Church put the spin on it, that the demons come through on the 31st, and then we honor the saints on the first. Also, that then the other spin is that the 31st allows for veneration of those who did not achieve sainthood. And then the first then we venerate those who did achieve sainthood. So what the Catholic Church role was and is identity theft. So we'll take this holy consecrated time right here and we'll repurpose it, re-identify it, and we'll call it All Saints Day. That's the overall picture of this. Take these days, repurpose them, and then we redirect the energy towards us. I want you to really dial in what I'm trying to tell you, because when I'm gonna tell you something about the current events, we're talking high level metaphysical shit here. This is not low level. This is not your emotions. This is not your belief system. We talking, this is the purpose of studying what we're going to get into. Okay. We're going to take a trip. Um, so we got all these things converging. Halloween, All Saints Day, um, Dios de los Muertos, where we have that have been labeled as Hispanic. Altars are put in the homes with the ancestors surrounded by flowers, and other things that represent things of pleasure or veneration. And then there's feasting. There's feasting for the children, and there's a feast day for the adults. Now, so I want to shift though to Diwali. Okay. Because this year, all of these are converging. Halloween, Dios de los Muertos, All Saints Day, all that, they're always going to be together because that's all around the same calendar date relative to the movement of the sun. So that's going to fall at the same time every year. But Diwali does not. This year, it culminates on the 1st. So everything's converging around the same time. Let me get rid of this. So Diwali, Festival of Lights, rows of lighted lamps are put out. And we have been celebrating Diwali for probably the last 10 years. Yeah. I started after my father transitioned. Where we really try to uh open the windows in the house, and it's, you gotta think, it's the fall of the year if you're in the northern hemisphere, so you get this crisp air running through the house. You have your candles lit, or you have your some type of lighting apparatus, your little string lights, whatever. You light the way. It's all these. Color is a big thing of Diwali. Rich oranges and yellows and reds and all these vibrant colors. You know, you have these adorned. The lotus, but it will come back to that. So the last Diwali lasts for 5 days. Think about that. What's significant about the number five? What planet coincides with the number five? It's Venus, the five-pointed star. It's Venus. So here's the first clue that there's a Venusian undertone to Diwali. Again, it's going to run from today, the 28th, until November 1st. Because there are different Hindu traditions around this celebration, this festival, this time of the year. In one tradition, which is the one that we attach to, the goddess Lakshmi is venerated. Lakshmi. So Lakshmi means, it represents having good marks, or good fortune, the beautiful. She's the goddess of wealth and prosperity. She's the consort of Lord Vishnu, who came out of the milk ocean when churned by the gods and demons. So listen to this. This is why we study horizontally. You study everything because you'll hear clues in something else that'll trigger you to something else you study. Let me read this again. Lakshmi came out of the milk ocean when churned by the gods and demons. Now, think about it. Have you heard of anybody else who had a birth like that? Now, it's probably several you can think of. I know one that sticks out in my mind right now. Aphrodite. Aphrodite, which is the Greek equivalent of the Roman name Venus. Aphrodite comes, one of her stories of her birth stories is that when Kronos, Saturn, castrates his father, Uranus, the semen flows and runs down to the ocean. And Aphrodite came out of the foamy mist from Uranus' castrated phallus. So here's another clue that Lakshmi coincides with Venus. Mm. Mm. Now, I want you to remember what I said. I said that when these thin veil energetic moments or portals open up, the energy is going to be used relative to the intent of the user. All right? So I'm showing something here. I'm leading up to something. Okay. I'm about to spill the beans because one of Lakshmi's avatars, she has avatars. One of her avatars, you know what the name is? I got to be dramatic. I'm not going to say it. I'm going to write it on the screen because I just want to be, I want to be dramatic today. Let's see. One of Lakshmi's avatars, this is the name. Ah, Jamal, come on. I'm waiting on the YouTube to catch up with my Zoom. Let's see if y'all see it. Do y'all see it yet? This is one of the avatars of Lakshmi. Kamala. Kamala. Yeah. Now, Kamala is wife of Vishnu. Okay. Now, understand who Vishnu is. Vishnu is one of the, what do they call it? Triadic, the higher triune of the Hindu pantheon. It's Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Shiva is the bridge between Brahma and Vishnu. There's this old tale where Brahma takes off to fly to the highest height and Vishnu descends to the lowest low, and out of the perceived opposition between those two, the mighty lingam of Shiva comes about. So Shiva, who is one of the husbands of Kali, then takes on this Christ energy. Lakshmi is part of a goddess triplicity. All things, all divine things move in threes. That's what the Bible is borrowing from far more ancient texts, and just metaphysical reality is that perfection runs in three. You have the unified principle that emerges out of chaos. It must split so it can then understand what choice is. So that's where two comes. And then the moment there's choice, then there's the perception of polarity, left or right, up or down. It's got to be this. Listen to what I'm, it's the, it's the illusion of opposition. And sometimes it's the illusion of choice. And it is not until there's the three that emerges that we have perfection, because the third piece stands above the base of the triangle. One, two. The third one stands above the base of the triangle. So it has the bird's eye view, and it holds the key to perfection. So that's why we have these, it's always moves in threes. Even in chaos, even at the top of the tree of life, when we see Ain, Ain Sof, Ain Sof even in chaos, there's a divine order that's moving. Something moving itself in threes. It reaches perfection, then it spills over into a new cycle. It reaches perfection, it spills and starts a new cycle. We see it in astrology. Cardinal, fixed, mutable. Then again, cardinal, fixed, mutable. Cardinal, fixed, mutable. It's this same truth plays out in you can apply it everywhere. So Lakshmi is part of this triple goddess energy. All right. Now, again, I'm going to read Lakshmi, having good marks or good fortune, the beautiful, the goddess of wealth and prosperity, consort of Lord Shiva, of Lord Vishnu. So here's the thing. If there has been a toxic form of patriarchal suppression, which we got to do this, we got to elevate our minds above. When we talk patriarchy, you got to be able to elevate your mind beyond thinking that it's men versus women, because that's the trap. If you can't see this right now, then you got to and go back and recalibrate and go back to Metaphysics 101. The patriarchy is not about men. The patriarchy is about the masculine side of the brain that has played out through a certain group of very sick men who do hate women, hate everything about them, hate them so much that they want to become them. Mm, mm. Okay. And so this, I don't know if you want to call it organization or consciousness. It's a consciousness that has tried to usurp the cosmic womb, because nothing comes into reality without a womb. And it has been a quest to defy the cosmic womb, because this consciousness feels that the cosmic womb betrayed it. That's when you go back and read the story of Aldebaoth in the Gnostic text. It's a feeling that my mother abandoned me, so I'm gonna make her suffer. It's a psychosis that is driving. And this is what this is how diabolical this psychosis is. It will create a series of layered realities and thought processes to where it will trickle down to where it will have us as a man pitted against a woman and vice versa. And that's the shit that's playing right now. And that's why the candidates were selected a long time ago. See, common people can never imagine that our lives are planned sometimes 50, 75, 100 years in advance. You got to understand, we're just now getting back into the commoner is studying astrology. That means we're just now getting back to telling time because astrology allows you to tell time. So the common man and woman have been toiling in their lives without a clock. There's been a few here and there who've got a clock. But for the most part, the common man and woman have been toiling with no clock. That's why everybody always come back and say, uh, here's an example of not having a clock and not understanding what the grand scheme of things is about. Well, big pharma, they don't want you to know about such and such cost of money. It ain't about money. That's what common people think. We think everything's about money. We think everything's about uh, up and down and right and left. No, it's about controlling reality. It's about controlling consciousness. It's about trying to stifle the growth because every mother wants to see their child grow. So if you control the earth plane, you deny the cosmic womb the ability to see its child ripen. What mother don't want to see the seed ripen into a nice piece of fruit? Aries is the seed, Leo is the fruit. And Leo represents the Christ child, which is what Herod, the story in the Bible, Herod trying to sniff out the Christ child, trying to prevent Leo from rising to the throne. So, what you'll do is you'll find and identify someone early because you are part of the system that has been telling time, but denying that to the general public. Meaning everybody has an astrologer. Everybody who's somebody is dealing with astrology and other things. So they've been telling time. You think people have not been looking down the road to the Pluto return? See, we've trivialized the United States Pluto return. It already got back to 27. It has passed on. It's about to go back into Aquarius. And we've forgotten that this body that calls itself the U.S. just had its Pluto return. According to the date we're given of July 4th, 1776, 5:10 p.m., Philadelphia, PA, we've forgotten because they throw so much stuff out, so much that we forget. That was all the big hoot the last couple of years. The U.S. Pluto return. We didn't forget all about that. Now we're thinking about Diddy and Trump and Kamala and so if something Pluto is about decay, it decays things so it can transform. So if we're in a natural cycle of entropy right now, and I ain't ready to go out, I ain't ready to lose my throne yet. I'm about to throw a Hail Mary. I'm going to give you people what you need to feed you emotionally. I got you. Because I've given you the internet to make you think you're awakened. But I never really taught you how to think. I never really taught you how to peep game. Now I got you in play. Check. Because you think you're thinking, but you're emoting is what you're doing. You're emoting. They flipped the game so ill to where you got people, you got teachers out here caping for Trump. And on the flip side, you got people who are on the flip side caping for Kamala. Done tricked us out this whole point of getting to this field of study was to be able to peep game. What's the point of doing all this? This is Super Bowl. What's the point of all this all-season training, preseason football games, the workouts, the nutrition, the going and getting the rehab to get to the Super Bowl and forget everything that you trained for? All your metaphysical knowledge just, or maybe some never really had it. So the point is, Kamala is AI version of Lakshmi. She's the AI version of Lakshmi. She's a clone of the energy. They created a clone of the energy to direct the attention at something that's a holograph to get people to give their energy. That's what voting is. It is you are providing energy to something, currency, and you're doing it based on a belief, thinking that you actually ever chose a president. The last time I got played was 2008. I got caught up in the Obama emotion. But on the flip side, the fact that they made it so obvious lets you know that she still represents prosperity, though, too. This is the ill shit. She represents prosperity, but not through you believing in her as a president. Because what you're still saying is you still believe in Jesus. You still believe in Muhammad. You still believe in the Mahdi. You still believe in the Messiah. You still believe in something outside of you coming to save you. This is not salvageable. How about that? It ain't salvageable. And if you don't go back and study the real origin of this that we're in, you playing yourself. So the people who are make America great, they're playing themselves. What they're trying, what that's a dog whistle. I want to get back to the 50s when those Negroes knew their place, and you ain't getting back to that. They getting played. You ain't getting back to where you had your good factory job. You can go and buy you cancel. It's a wrap, Johnny. You can cancel that. On the same token, you're thinking that this is some white knight coming in, that this is a divine feminine coming in back to reckon. She could care less about anything about the ultimate divine feminine. If anything, she is an affront to it. How many times have they insulted black people's intelligence, eating watermelon, and my granny used to cook greens out to get like we savages? Coming around dancing. Every time somebody want to vote, they dancing like we some fucking idiots. And we go with this. You're not going to insult my fucking intelligence. No, I'm not participating. Everybody's getting played. That's what I'm saying. You got to be able to think metaphysically, especially now. This is so you got to be able to use the energy that is being that is available and not the energy that's being promoted. Because Kamala is an avatar of Lakshmi. So you got to tap into that energy without getting caught up in the mundane three-dimensional shit. And I'm 1000% on the money. So Lakshmi represents prosperity, represents the cultivation of your gifts. Have you been sidetracked from your gifts by current events? Lakshmi is offering you an opportunity to pull your energy back and to focus on what matters. We can talk about magic all day. That shit don't matter if you don't really understand how it works and how you can, and how you may be being impacted by somebody else's magic. Oh, I just, so I want to, we're going to take the Kamala energy and we're going to redirect it. Okay. 28 to November 1st. And what happens on November 1st? We have a new moon in what? Scorpio. 9 degrees of Scorpio. Scorpio deals with the occult hidden world. Scorpio deals with the dissecting of things to get down to the truth. Scorpio is skeptical. Scorpio is surgical. It's incising. It's cutting. Scorpio can also be obsessive. It can be compulsive. So we got an opportunity to tap into, though, the evolved aspect of Scorpio with this new moon. And which happens, listen to what I'm telling you. It happens on the day that Diwali culminates. So I'm gonna share this on the wide open internet. Some of this, I said I'm just gonna keep this for my group, but I'm gonna share this. Lakshmi is fertility. Okay. Get you some soil, get you some rice. All right. And you go and do your Googles on everything else. Get you some soil, get you some rice. You get the earth that produces the food and the food that the earth has produced. So what you're doing is manifestation. You are showing the origin, you're honoring the mother, the real mother. You're honoring her by showing that she's the producer. And then you are showing faith in her by showing what she has produced. Okay. You put this out. You've been, and I'm, I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of, but Lakshmi is the favorite goddess of business people. She's worshipped in the home. Um, her vehicle, this is interesting. Her vehicle is the owl. Very interesting. Now, if you go back to the Hebrew lore, who is associated with the owl in Hebrew lore? Let's see if somebody put it in. Uh, um, do y'all know? what uh the owl is associated with in Hebrew lore? Let's see if somebody put the name in here. Who is the owl? So who's the screech owl? Who's the screech owl? All right, y'all taking too long. Lilith. So this is showing us that see, Lakshmi has a dark side. Okay, she has a dark side. She has a side that is goes against the grain, does not adhere to the status quo, and possesses a certain degree of divine wisdom. Because you gotta think, yeah, use your imagination. Why would Lilith be associated with the screech owl? Now it's a nighttime hunter. Okay, so that's yeah, we can see that. But the owl also has wisdom. And sometimes wisdom will create great difficulty because it refuses to capitulate or bow down to ignorance. To some people right now, what I'm saying may seem evil. It may seem to what they feel. But see, that's the thing. You have to really look at these archetypes. What may appear evil to one person may be based on the perspective that they have at the moment. What all has entered into their awareness. So if it's something that is not within your awareness at the moment, it's going to look evil. So there's something that's a Lilith energy to Lakshmi that they're giving a clue. That also says that with the owl as her vehicle, the owl eats rodents. And rodents are little muscreants that are hidden. Because when you have rodents, they tend to hide somewhere under the sink or in the garage, or they burrow into your attic and they do damage. So she has a certain level of intuition about her because rodent, as in a mouse, is where we get the word musk, as in muscle, and your muscle is hidden under your skin. So you got to think. You got to think imaginatively and put this stuff together. So if she has the vehicle as the owl, then it's talking about her intuition that can go and sift out things that are hidden and to eradicate them. So there's something here about Lilith bringing the necessity of us having inner standing, inner light, intuition, using that right now. The new moon, let me say this too, real quick. Lilith, Lakshmi is part of a triple goddess, as I said. Lakshmi, she's the red goddess. So you gotta look into that. Okay. Think about Christian iconography. That's the wine, that's the blood. Okay. Then you have Sati, who is white. That's the semen. Okay. That's spirit. Um, then Devi is the grandmother. She's the great mother because she's black. So she represents primal energy. So then you got the red, the black, and white. That's Legbus colors. So you got all these crossroads things that for you to go and keep researching on your own. Okay. Um, but something else I wanted to. Oh yeah, the new moon. I don't know if I got time to pull the chart. Uh, this new moon again is at 9 of Scorpio. It's 2:05. Let's see. I need to leave out of here in about. Ooh, I don't have time. Okay, I'm gonna pull this real quick. And let me say this while I'm getting this up. Today till November 1st, if you've never gotten a reading with me, this is your chance to get one and uh save you a couple of dollars. I have a special running on my 60-minute live readings. This special does not apply to any other because the price is not, you're only going to see this price if you go to the 60-minute live readings on my site. You go to my site, 720astrology.com, go to uh, what we offer, click on readings and go to the 60-minute live reading. And those are discounted right now. I think it's discounted 30%. And that goes until November 1st. So this is my Diwali special. Okay. I'm running 30% off my 60-minute live birth chart readings. And those got to be booked within November. Okay. So that's just a FYI. Go on over there and come on, get some of this game. Okay. So here's the new moon chart. It's 7:47 a.m. Central Standard Time. November 1st. We see we got the new moon at the sun and moon are at 9 degrees of Scorpio. Okay. Now we got a lot going on and I've got to go fast. Boom, boom, boom. Let's deal with what the pressing things we got. The difficult things. God, I wrote so many notes and they all over the place. We got a grand cross in the sky because we have, boom, look at this. Look at this thing. Juno is involved and we have Chiron. So here's the grand cross we got. So some of us are getting forced to let go of something. Now, Juno's not like Ceres, not, but I think Juno and Ceres are kind of similar in a way because Juno holds on to relationship, and we got Juno in Libra, so this can put a lot of stress on relationship. Some need to get cut. Others, we're going to have to show endurance. Okay, so that's one thing that we got going. Now, uh, this is this opposition between Mars and Pluto. This is the testing of the wheel right here, you know, and this is where the monster can come out of some people. And you may have to check some people in this energy because if you're not mindful of your energy, you may fly off the handle and you may have to get checked by somebody else, or you may be the one who has to check someone, you know, because in the Bible, in the New Testament, it says, "Do not think I came to bring peace. I came to bring a sword." So sometimes we have to cut, but we're gonna have to figure out here with this energy which battle is mine. So we don't want to be around here fighting empty battles and just combative just for the hell of it. So there's a lot of tension. Now look at the time, November 1st. Look how this energy is leading up to the big thing on the 5th. You can see how the energy is being charged in the air, getting people riled up. We're not gonna take it. People all riled up in their feelings and not stepping back to see, wait a minute, there's a hand in the midst here, and there's something that's trying to be brought into our reality. Remember, the veil is thin. So that means This is where malefic energies can be more easily drawn in. So let's be mindful of that. Um, we have Venus in a square and a half to Mars. So here we got even more tension applied to relationship. This is a square and a half aspect. Okay. So that creates more tension. Square and a half means that they're 35 degrees away from each other. So we got that. Um, so I want to reiterate talking, conversation of depth, um, and being mindful of how you communicate is very important. And this is coming from somebody who can be a rough communicator. You know, I can be abrupt, but if I can be mindful of how I communicate, then anybody can. Mercury conjoining Mars, squaring Pluto. Don't become AI with this Mercury and Scorpio. Don't feel like you can just come at anybody any type of way and that shit is okay. Because that's what Mercury and Scorpio, I'm just tell it the way it is. I don't cut corners, I don't bullshit. Well, motherfucker, can you take that energy if I return it back to you? So let's all be mindful of how we communicate because it's going to be vital because there's all types of stressors in the air to cause discord. I'm getting all the negative stuff out the way. Now, in addition to that, what do we have? We got um Venus. Did I get that? I think Saturn and wait a minute, subconscious. I think we got a hammer of Thor. Let me see. Let me do the math. 12, 12. Yeah, this is a hammer of Thor right here. So look at that. Hammer of Thor mean we have an apex planet, and then we have two. So the apex planet is Mars, and the two planets at the base are Venus and Saturn. So a hammer of Thor, you're gonna have the base planets are squaring each other, and the apex planet will be in a square and a half to the base planet. So it's hard aspect, hard aspect, hard aspect. At least with a quink with a yard, you get a break. You get a at least a sextile between the base. But this one is hard all the way around, and it's locked. It's locked. So here we have leading up. Think this. Look at the magic. Here we have leading up to this big event involving a person who is a Libra with going against an an idiot who conveys a lot of Martian energy. Everything's Martian, Martian, Martian. So here we have Mars and Venus in a square and a half in hard aspect with Saturn, which is government for one. And so when you create this energy at the head, it tends to trickle down to the rest of the people. We are being charged to not be grabbed by the energy. You got to be mindful. Don't leave yourself open because your mind right now is very much charged with emotional energy. There's a grand trine between Mars, Mercury, and Neptune around this new moon. So now we're starting to get into the opportunities. There's an opportunity to go into your emotional data bank and come out with information. On the same token, you can be just so in your emotions where you are overwhelmed, your thinking process will become overwhelmed. But if you use this, this is a great time for creativity. Mercury trining Neptune, trining, trining Mars. It's a Mars in its fall, but it's still giving us the directive towards action, creative action. So it's not a beautiful trine. It's got a malefic and a difficult outer planet, but if we utilize this can be beautiful again. Creative energy, creative force, your imagination. What else? We got Pluto, sextile Neptune. That's been uh Neptune is conjoining the North Node. The North Node is at 4 of Aries at this time. So either so we could be magically propelled towards destiny right now, or we can become just delusional. So you're the alchemist. Stay present so that you have the opportunity to remain balanced. Because here's the thing. You got while Mercury's in this trine, it's opposing Uranus. So you see what I'm saying? You got all types of stuff to get you off your square right now. Feeling overly anxious, combative, curt with your communication, short with your communication, not wanting to listen, not wanting to be still and hear what somebody's saying. But if we can keep ourselves in check and ground ourselves, don't forget what the energy is. There's prosperity in the air. Magical prosperity is in the air around Lakshmi and even Kamala. Yeah. But you have to be able to be in the right frame of mind to use it. If you're using this energy looking for something outside of you to change your reality, you're already lost. But if you use this energy as a signpost to channel inwardly, then you win. The new moon in Scorpio, the earth is wet. It's great from the old farmers' almanacs, they say plant root vegetables in Scorpio new moon. Root vegetables. Plant new roots right now. Go down into your subconscious mind and let's start reprogramming it. You've been living in lack. It's time to release that shit. Scorpio is also about release. Scorpio rules over restrooms. Some of us, I'm not gonna say y'all, some of us, let's take a good energetic shit. How about that? Take a good energetic shit. Let that motherfucking shit go so you can grow. Scorpio rules the eliminatory processes, but also it rules the genitals where life is created. Let that shit go. You ever been trying to get busy and your stomach hurt? It interrupts. Sometimes you got to go and eliminate, take you a good shower, good bath, or whatever, then you're ready to go. Think about that. Go and take a good, energetic shit. Let that shit go as we're getting close to this new moon, where the moon is in its balsamic, which means distillation. It's distilling. Let shit go and extract what you can get out of it, and then come back and let's plant some new seeds. I know there's all type of scare and fear in the world. People telling you aliens coming and all this gonna happen. What are you gonna do? That's all that matters. What are you gonna do? What magic are you working? What power are you igniting? That's all the shit that matters. Now, I gotta go. I gotta go. I hope y'all appreciate the download. Um, and yes, let's see. Let me stop sharing. Like I said, over on the site from the day until the 1st of November, 30% off my 60-minute readings, in-person readings. And I always know this. Everything that I say and come from, it comes from a place of love, even though the way I say things may come out a certain way. You know, they can they can be abrupt at times. They can cut, but sometimes you just ain't got time to in this space. I had to say what I had to say. I could go on and on. This I could really expound on a lot of these things, but I wanted to be able to get this down and have this um put out there before this new moon. And I got some other stuff I want to come back and talk about. You know, interesting things about outcomes that I see that may be coming. But go to the site 720astrology.com. There's a million things there to support your journey. My bundle, get the bundle, get the bundle. Got my book in it. It's got my booklet. Um, Holla at me. 720astrology.com. Know the stars and know yourself. Peace.